Mini Wargamer Dave here from MiniWargaming.com. Welcome Wargamers to a special video that I would like to make showing off this converted Nurgle Damon Prince. The thought occurred to me, I didn't actually show him off. I didn't make a video of him. And I'm a little more proud of this guy than I am of some of my other models, because I actually spent quite a bit of time painting him and trying to make it look good. So wouldn't get a high ranking on Cool Mini or not by any means, but in my books it's pretty good. Yeah, he agrees. So why don't we start with the model itself. Now it's a pewter model. This is an older model. I converted it before the plastic Demon Prince kit came out, and so looking at the full model here, this is what you got. His hand is magnetized. Now that didn't happen for practical purposes. The reason why I magnetized it was because the hand kept on falling off by supergluing it. I even tried pinning it, and for some reason it just didn't work. You know, he'd get knocked over and just bust right off. So I figured, and this is the ironic thing, I didn't even mean to have it magnetized. My original intent was to add a magnet to his hand and one inside his arm so as to hold it together while the super glue dried. But that didn't exactly happen. It came apart again. But the magnets were still there, so he now has a magnetized hand. So if I ever wanted to make a stop motion video out of this, I can wave his sword around and make it look ultra realistic by moving his sword in such a way where he would obviously move it and keep his hand still, his arm still, while doing it. Yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the model itself. Taking a look at the sword itself, I chose to make this into a bone sword. I thought that look was pretty cool. So what I did for this is I actually painted it with a light brown color first as a base coat. I used Reaper paints to paint this. Looking back on it, had I known how much better the Vallejo paints are, I would have used those on them. But Reaper paints are good. They're still good, don't get me wrong. They're still good paints. And so I used a light brown color. I think it was a tanned flesh or a tanned shadow that I used on it. And then I painted a kind of like a chalky yellow color on top of that, leaving the grooves of the symbols of the sword unpainted. And then I washed it with Griffin Sepia, and then on top of that I added the same chalky yellow color, this time not covering as much as I did before when I added the chalky color. Then I highlighted it with a bone white color, and then with a lighter bone white color. Now you can't tell, I don't think you can tell that all of that happened on the sword. It just looks like a yellowish white sword when you look at it. But I spent a decent amount of time on it, so if it doesn't look good, then the sword will attack you through the camera lens, and it will convince you that it looks good enough to be fielded on the table and not be laughed at. So let's just go with that answer. So moving on to the rest of the model here, my favorite part of this model is his wings. If you take a look at the wings here, they are dragon wings. Dragon wings that you get in the Warhammer Fantasy set. Green stuffed the wings to his back. What I had to do was actually cut off those two stubs, for lack of a better word, on his back. I actually sliced them off, and I inserted these wings, and I green stuffed in around them and tried to blend it in to the best of my ability. And the pus sacs that you see on him are also green stuffed. Anything that looks rough and zit-like, pus-filled, pimple-like, it's all green stuff. And having OCD like I have, it actually grosses me out quite a bit by looking at it. and I'm loving every minute of it. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite part of this model. You can notice that the wings are a slightly different color, getting closer to the back as they are when you get further away from the model. And what I did to achieve that was probably 20 to 22 layers of washes and lighter brown colors mixed in with greens. I used quite a few colors on this. I wanted to resemble a translucency effect, which I had never done before, but and kind of like a fleshy look at the same time, because wings are flesh and they're not transparent, they're translucent, and they're not a solid color, and they shouldn't be all the same color, in my opinion. I think it looks better when they're spread out and blended like that. So many different layers on top of that, and I got the idea to do that from Painting Academy. This is not a shameless plug, by the way. I actually honestly got this technique from the Painting Academy, the video where Mike paints up. He does wet blending, and he does so many layers. He does like 20 layers, and it looked awesome. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do that too. And he did it on a sword too. Did it on a red sword, and it blended from red to orange or whatever color it was. And he did a ridiculous amount of layers on it, just on one tiny little sword. So I applied that same technique on this guy on his wings, and it looks good in my opinion. I mean, it's not a gold demon winner, but he is a demon, so he's a winner. That's the sickest, saddest joke that I've ever come up with. It's ridiculous. Let's go on to the base. The base is basically just a mound of pus sacks, just like the wings, and he's loving it. Papa Nurgle's happy that he's stepping in a cesspool of cess sacks. It's not even a word, but it works in Nurgle's universe. Yeah, all green stuff, very easy to make. The all green stuff effect makes this model that much more heavier, being that it's pewter, but that doesn't matter. Now, if this guy were to fall over, he would definitely break. I mean, he would break so bad it would make me want to bust a hole through the roof and yell from the rooftop that he's broken. And then Nurgle would just send me a new one. It would be loud enough for that to happen. But yeah, so I wouldn't want to knock him over. It's such a redundant thing to say. Of course you're not going to want to knock him over. Ridiculous, right? I guess what I'm saying is if he was a plastic model, it wouldn't be as bad. But the new Demon Prince, man, I'm going to get zapped here. The new Demon Prince model, the plastic Demon Prince model, I say it's new because it's new relatively. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's newer. It comes with wings, but they're smaller. They're not as big and grandiose as these demon dragon wings. They're not actually demon dragon. I just call them that because they are now demon dragon wings. So they're not as big and good looking as these. I think these are better looking than the wings that come in the other actual Demon Prince kit. So I guess that's an option too, just to get these wings, convert them onto the other one. That way they're actual size. I think because the other ones are so small, I mean, how can they even fly with wings that are not even their size? I mean, these ones actually should be bigger, but they're not. They would be way too big. It would just look ridiculous. It would look like a bat. Kind of does look like a bat. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this model, show off the model. Never actually did it before. I fielded him in a ton of battle reports, and he's been in the background, but he's never had a showcase video where I showcase just him. He's been in the rejects. He's been all over the place, really. He's been in my army for a long time, and he knows his place in the army, and he knows not to do anything dumb. Otherwise, he'll be replaced with a plastic model. Dumb like falling over, because that would just be a sad day. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos of me showing off models in my army, I guess that's what the videos would be about, right? Just showcasing different miniatures. And please like this video. Facebook like button up above if you're on Mini Wargaming, or in this area, yes. Crystal clear, right? If you're on YouTube, click the like button below. Not the like bucket. There's no such thing as a like bucket. I could even say what I said wrong, correctly. It's very hot in this room. That's why I'm tripping over my words. It's also because it's an unedited video, and when videos are unedited, then the raw Dave comes out, and there's a chance that you'll see a Chaos God in the background. Nope, not Deafy. He hasn't reached demonhood yet. See you in the next video.